What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Racy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I'm going to be speaking to you about Terrifier 3. Now, I gotta say, man, Terrifier 3, wow. It has promised you to be one of the goriest movies of the year. And I gotta say, man, it's one hell of a good one. If you have seen the first two movies of Terrifier and are expecting this one to be just as gruesome as the other ones, then you're in for a ride. Because this movie is good because of the gore. I have to give this movie probably like a 9 out of 10, to be honest. Wow. What a thrilling movie. The kills for this movie, they're very gruesome, and I think they probably added some elements of comedy in a way in this movie, because there were a lot of people in the audience. There were sometimes they were laughing. Art the Clown, he was just being funny in some ways, some capacity. It's just like his reactions to one part, maybe to seeing Santa Claus. Just like how he reacted, he was so surprised. He was just like a little kid and he wanted to see Santa Claus. And there was this other part as well when he heard these two people talking about Jack the Ripper. Supposedly the girl, he was giving him compliments, and then you just only saw him doing like that. He was like, "Stop it, I'm not as good as Jack the Ripper." But yeah, to be honest, this was a hell of a movie. And there was this just one kill that was just actually most of the kills, dude. Most of the kills, they were just so much. They were so gruesome. I had to look away, to be honest. Shit, that was an insane movie. I have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Maybe the only downside of this movie, I could say, is that the storyline for the Art the Clown, it has not been developed as much yet, because we have no idea how he regenerates and what does Sienna has to do with him, or what does Art the Clown has to do with Sienna. Is he like a demon and she's like an angel? Because Sienna, the main girl in this movie, the protagonist, the one that came out in the second movie of Terrifier, she can actually regenerate as well, just like Art the Clown. But we don't really know their connection to each other. And there was a huge cliffhanger left for Terrifier 3. I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait for Terrifier 4. We're probably going to get it maybe in 2 to 3 years or so. I doubt it. I doubt it's going to come out next year. I think that's how they're going to do it. Because Terrifier 2, I think it came out in the year 2022. And Terrifier 3 came out this year in 2024. So probably they're going to do it every 2 years or 3 years or so. The first one, the original one, it came out in 2016. So we will see, man. We will see how they're going to do it with Terrifier. I went with my siblings to go watch this movie, and we all got 3 different shirts of Art the Clown. We actually got it from Spencer's, and we had one hell of a good time watching the movie. Before we were waiting to see the movie, we were just going throughout the whole theater, trying to find if there was an actual poster so we can take a picture, and we weren't able to find one at all. I was very surprised. Every other single movie, the movie Wicked, Smile 2, the new Mufasa movie, they all had their own posters except Terrifier 3. I don't know, probably because he was so gruesome. I have no idea why there wasn't any posters for the Terrifier 3 movie. It was very surprising. But yeah, man, the movie was very gruesome and it's a good one. To be honest, it's getting good reviews overall from everybody, even the critics. I'm very surprised. Yeah, even the critics actually do like this movie. There's a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics side, and for the audience score, it's at 94%. That's great. People are actually enjoying this movie and this whole franchise, to be honest. Like right next to Michael Myers, Leatherface, Freddy Krueger. I think he is now considered one of those main ones, to be honest. Because like before, when the first two movies came out, these movies, I'm sorry, like the very first movie, it was an independent film, right? And it was in theaters. I doubt it came out in theaters at all. Terrifier 2, it came out in selected theaters. I did not watch that movie at the theaters because I had no clue that it was coming out. But Terrifier 3, this is probably the first time that a horror movie that has a trilogy, it has finally come out in the movie theaters all around the world. And people can actually go see it. And yeah, man, this movie is worth watching if you are a fan of horror. And there were some people that left in the first 15 minutes of the movie because, yeah, like the very first scene, it was probably controversial for some people, and they just did not like how the story was told. I mean, I kind of do get it as well, but I believe it's just a movie, and there is a balance between being reality and just being a movie. And I think the Terrifier series actually catches that. Like, this movie is just a movie. Like, Art the Clown, he uses like everyday tools to kill his victims, But it's still an awesome movie. It's insane his freaking kills, how he does them, man. I think they went over the top now with this movie. But to be honest, if I would rank the Terrifier movies, just like the first three, there was another one called All Hallows Eve. I still haven't seen that one. Art the Clown, they came out on that movie. But if I do rank the first three movies, I have to say Terrifier 2 is my number 1 rank. Terrifier 3 is my number 2 rank. And the original one is ranked as the third one, to be honest. Yeah, that's how I put them. Terrifier 2, man, that's just that bedroom scene. I just couldn't go over it. This is so insane, dude. That bedroom scene, oof, that was insane. And also, there was another one. There was another scene just like that in Terrifier 3. Maybe another one as well. Maybe 2 kills that can compare them to that bedroom scene in Terrifier 2. Like, there was another one in the shower scene, and also the rat scene. I just mentioned the animal, and you can't guess what will happen there. The one close to the ending of the movie. That scene was gruesome, dude. Fuck, it was insane. But yeah, man, Art the Clown, one hell of a killer, isn't he? But yeah, it's a very enjoyable movie if you are a fan of horror. Do not take your kids to go see this movie because, damn, I don't think it's not a good idea to have kids watch this movie at all. Probably when they turn like 15 or so, but I did saw like a few kids, maybe like 2 or 3 of them, that they watched it with their parents. Their parents actually took them to go see this movie, and wow. Yeah, I would not have taken my kids to go see Terrifier because I don't want to traumatize them just yet, But yeah, Terrifier, dude, that's a gruesome movie, and you probably might enjoy it. Like I said, if you are a fan of horror movies, as a casual fan, you probably might be thinking of, what did I get myself into? What is this movie, But it's a good one, though. Terrifier 3. Can't wait for Terrifier 4 to come out. Maybe like in 2 to 3 years. We will see, man. And now another thing I want to talk to you about is Alien Isolation 2. Yes, they're finally making another Alien Isolation game. We've been waiting for this news for years. They actually waited for the 10th anniversary of the very first game to actually announce to the world that they are going to make Alien Isolation 2. Yes, dude. I am excited for this. If you have been listening to my recent podcasts, I have been talking about Alien Isolation and how I have been playing that video game on the Steam Deck. It runs very well, and like I do remember how great it was just playing it the very first time on the PlayStation 4. It was scary, dude, and it is just as scary playing it on the Steam Deck. Yeah, dude, I am excited for Alien Isolation 2. That's like one of the best series of all time, to be honest. Aliens is great. If there is like an alien movie or TV show, you really want to see more of this world, to be honest. Like you really can't get enough of aliens. There's like so much that you can learn about the alien world, and it's just so intriguing, to be honest. And I am excited how they're gonna pull this new game out. Usually in video games, the second game is always the best in a series. Like for the Resident Evil series, I do believe that Resident Evil 2 is just a better version of any other Resident Evil game that has come out, like from the original 3 or 4 games. And now, Silent Hill 2, guys. This game is actually scary as well. I have been playing it on the Steam Deck, and the game does run around like 30 frames per second, but it is very difficult to make it go up to 60 frames per second. It's still enjoyable though. You can still play it. Like I said, it is scary at some parts, but sometimes the variation of villains that are on that game, there isn't that many. But it is scary though. Like there is some areas where you just have the flashlight, right? And there was just like this freaking monsters or whatever they are. They just come out of nowhere and they scare you. You just try to take them down as much as you can. Even like the fog when you're walking around the town, like you're just walking, right, and just out of nowhere you just see like somebody just moving very scarily, you know. Silent Hill 2, dude. Silent Hill, it's a scary game. But like I still need to finish the whole video game to find out if it's better than Resident Evil 2, to be honest. So far as of right now, I'll probably will give it like a 6 or 7. But like I said, I'm still not done with the video game, and hopefully I'll find out more about the story. Like I am excited to see more of this world. I have never actually played a Silent Hill game. This is my first game introducing me to the Silent Hill world. So I am excited to go back to it and see what is next for James. Yeah. Silent Hill 2, man. I am excited about it. Oh yeah, and there's one more thing I want to talk to you about. It's about Freddy Krueger, the actor who plays as him. His name is Robert Englund. You probably guys, hopefully you guys know of his name, Robert Englund. He did mention that he won't be able to play as a live action Freddy anymore because he believes he is very old now, and if there is like an anime series that they will make for A Nightmare on Elm Street, he would love to actually voice the character of Freddy Krueger. But yeah, he did mention in an interview saying that yeah, he is very old and he won't be able to play as a character anymore. I think the guy, let me check. The guy is 77 years old. Yeah, that is crazy, man. Like all of our favorites, like all of our favorite villains that played as these characters like Chucky, Freddy Krueger, Jason, these guys are not young anymore and they are getting older by the minute. He is 77 years old, and so like this is what he exactly said. I could possibly voice a really high-end animated version, but I know I can't do the fight scenes in more than one take now. So yeah, I remember watching Freddy vs. Jason. I think that was the very first movie I saw him on, playing as that character. Like beforehand, I did see just like a couple of scenes of a Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I did not know which one at the time, and yeah, Freddy Krueger, he is a very scary villain, to be honest. Just like the whole concept of him just going into your dreams and just making them a nightmare while you're trying to go to sleep. Oh man, it is very scary, you know. But yeah, that's what Robert Englund said about him playing as Freddy Krueger. He won't be able to play the live action version of Freddy Krueger anymore, but I am excited though. I'm excited if they will actually make an animated version of A Nightmare on Elm Street. That would be cool, man, because anime or animation overall is just awesome, dude. And it has potential. There is potential for something like that to be made. It just depends on how people write the story for this character. So we will see, man. I was kind of disappointed, you know. I think like 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that the Chucky series was gone, and that they canceled the Chucky TV series, and that they were no longer going to do it anymore. Yeah, that really did suck. But if they bring back the Nightmare on Elm Street series, that'll be awesome. The Friday the 13th TV show, they're still planning to do it. Hopefully they keep on moving forward with that TV show. And supposedly it's gonna come out next year or a year after on Peacock. It's called Crystal Lake. I'm not really sure of the story at all. I don't know if the mom is going to be the villain. Like if you have seen the original Friday the 13th movie, the mom, she was the main villain, not Jason. Jason came in on the second movie, but he wasn't wearing the hockey mask yet. He started wearing the hockey mask on Friday the 13th Part 3. We will find out how that's going to turn out. Maybe they are going to make Jason as the main killer for Crystal Lake, to be honest. But I am excited for that show, and let's see how it actually turns out to be. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did made it this far, make sure to actually follow this podcast on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.